Admission committees actually go through thousands and thousands of SOPs daily. So you have to make an impression in that first minute when they read your hook. But there are so many mistakes that students make, and we are going to be looking at all of those mistakes today. So let us start with the first one. This is the immediate red flags that they are going to get if your SOP goes anywhere to like show any of these things. The first one is plagiarism. Oh my goodness, you guys, no matter what you do, please never plagiarize. Copying sample SOPs from the internet. I have a database that has sample SOPs. What it is there to do is to give you some sort of a guiding light on look at it and then you write yours. Look at it, be inspired to write yours, not look at it and copy it, because that is going to be plagiarism. Fabrication, inventing experiences, or lying about achievements, please do not do it. You are going to be disqualified. The next thing is the ghostwriter, letting AI or agents or friends write your essays for you. Please do not do it. Actually, a couple of days ago, I got a question on the internet on X, and someone was like, how about if I just feed it my data and then ask it to write for me? I'm like, you can use it to brainstorm, but the official words that are going to be in the final essay has to be your words. It should not be words from any other place. It should not be words from AI. It should be your words. So what should you do here? Don't let anyone else hold the pen. Authenticity beats perfection. A slightly imperfect essay written by you is superior to a polished one written by ChatGPT. Okay, do not do that. Let us go to the second mistake that is going to make your SOP get rejected. That is right, you guys. I'm just going to take a minute here to tell you all about my database. My database has everything you need in order to succeed in your goals of studying abroad. If you want to really succeed, what you should do is get up every morning, sign up to this database, look through the scholarships, graduate assistantships, low tuition fee university, no application fee university, and then start your process of preparing to apply for whatever thing that you choose to apply for. If it is a scholarship, go through the process. Go through the CV samples and use it as a guide to write yours. Go through the SOP samples, use it as a guide to write yours. Go through the research proposal samples and use all of them as a guide to write yours. If you're able to lock in 1 hour or 2 hours every day, by the end of this year, you are going to get that study abroad that you want. You are going to get that scholarship that you want. So go ahead and sign up. The childhood dream cliche. You all already know it. This is the cliche. Ever since I was a child, I have dreamed of always things like, I have always loved computers. Like, yeah, just imagine how many thousands of these applications that they have to go through. How many people write that? Like, that is just like step one to them removing all of those people who have started with, I have always dreamed about. Please do not do it. Like, don't do it at all. And then why it fails, it describes a fantasy, not a career plan. It is viewed as immature and unverifiable. And then now let's look at what should you say rather. Debugging my first kernel panic during the internship taught me that, oh, what did you debug? Right? There is some kind of an intrigue. Even now, I'm thinking, like, first of all, what is debugging? And then kernel panic. Okay, I'm sure this is going to be like computer science people who understand it, but still, it brings us some kind of curiosity in it. During my internship, it taught me that. What did it teach you? So it gives me questions as to what did you learn that I want to know more? Otherwise, I will not want to know more at all. Or it says the water crisis in my village sparked a specific intellectual question. What is the question that is sparked? Can you see how that plays really well? The hook of action. Ground your passion in recent concrete experiences and problem solving. Keyword being problem solving. You really need to be, remember, this is like a holistic thing. You are submitting an application for something. So it has to fit in the grand scheme of whatever it is that you are applying for. So you need to say that problem that you want to solve. The next one is the generalist trap, where you have not done any research. So the mistake that is going to make your SOP get rejected is praising, like this flattery, praising that particular university. It's a world-class facilities with esteemed faculty without naming any of them. And the reason why this is problematic is because they are probably guessing, like, okay, did you do any research? Like, do you really know about us? What is the professor you're talking about? What is the meaning of world class? It actually really means nothing, right? But what you should rather say is that prove that you have done your homework by naming, number one, specific professors whose research parallels yours. Very important. Number two, specific lab centers or core curriculum models that you intend to study, that if you're given an opportunity, you're going to like to study those. And then unique industry connections or local context. You practically have to stalk the website of the particular university or the scholarship provider that you are applying for. And here you really have to show that you have done the research, you know them, so you're telling them about their university and how it fits to you. Not world-class university. That's not going to cut it. Now let's go to the fourth mistake that is going to get your SOP rejected. Number one, do not don't repeat your resume, okay? So you have the CV, the resume, what you did, like your listing, that's what you're listing in your CV. But now in your SOP, what you're doing here is the things below, right? You're providing context, why it mattered, the challenges you overcame, preparation in grad school, what you learned. Those are the things. So here they use like the analogy of an iceberg to show, do not turn your SOP into your CV. Your CV is what is on top, but what is below is all of the things that go along to make up what is called your SOP. One document has to complement the other one and not repeat what is in the other one, okay? Do not do it. The fifth thing that is going to make your SOP get rejected is the thesaurus structure failure, vocabulary trap. This is such a big issue because I actually also had a question. No, it was on YouTube the other day where someone was like, no, on both on X and on YouTube, where someone was like, one person said, if it is just 700 words, how am I going to structure this to make sure it fits into the 700 words? And then the other person said, well, I'm given just 1,000 words. How am I going to make this work? You actually have to make it work. Somehow, we're going to talk about the structure later, but you have to make it work. So here you have the misused or jargon. Please do not use, especially if you're in a field where, I remember reading some guy's SOP and he was talking about, I think it was like carbon neutralization. And I was like, I do not understand any of these things. Like, you need to make it in a way where someone who is not of your field can really understand. See the example they give here. I utilize my cognizant capabilities to ascertain the fundamental veracity of the proposition. Oh my goodness. Then the other thing, like what is preferable to say, I use my skills to find the truth of the statement. Not complicated at all. You don't have to use big words for us to know that you are smart. There should be logic, there should be reason, coherence, and flow. Every paragraph must link logically to the next. Do not leave the committee perplexed, and also do not leave the committee feeling like they have to bring along a dictionary in order to understand what you have to say. Like, do not do that. So let us look at a blueprint of how you're going to go through this. Number one, the first thing is your hook, your current motivation, the specific problem that you want to solve. Number two, your background, your academic journey, showing the skills that you have learned. Of course, show, do not tell. We want to see. Give us evidence. We want to see those things that you're claiming about. And then the fit. Why us? Why that university? Specific professors, courses, departments. What excites you about that particular place? Not some other place, like that particular, what exactly is it about that particular uni that excites you? You need to explain that. And then your future goals, your short-term goals, your long-term goals, and then the overall impact of everything that you want to do with your life. And to some extent, why giving you that scholarship or giving you that admission is going to be a good return on investment. You need to prove that. I was joking the other day on X and I was like, it is a type of a thing where they talk about in relationships where a guy will ask a girl, what do you bring to the table? Exactly. They're asking you for what do you bring to the table? What is the return on investment if they actually give you that scholarship, if they actually grant you that admission? Then the other thing that is going to make your SOP get rejected is the tone balance. There is, you either become too humble or you become too arrogant. The sweet spot to be is in the middle, this evidence-based confidence. What you should do is do not say, I'm a great leader. It does not mean anything to say you're a great leader. Anyone can say they are a great leader. The good thing to rather do is, I coordinated a team of 5 to reduce lab processing time by 20%. Or if you're someone who is studying something related to fundraising, I raised this particular amount within this period, and this is what we were able to do with that money. What that is showing is result oriented, coordinating a team, or you have team leading skills, you have leadership skills, you had results. That shows, it doesn't tell, right? So now, if you're also going to be doing this and applying for a scholarship, it goes back to what I was saying before. Your student plus your contribution is equal to an investment. Going back to the short-term, your short-term goals, your long-term goals, and also why are you a good investment? What do you really want to do with what you're going to study that it will be good for them to invest in you? You have to prove that. And then the next thing that you can make as a mistake is not following the format. Different universities actually have different formatting styles, and your job is to make sure that whatever thing that different admissions, actually, some people go through like a portal where they fill up like their application information there, and sometimes that portal gives you the limit. You cannot even write above those words. Some, it's actually you have to do it on a let's say a Word document or on an Excel sheet, or no, on a Google Doc, and then send it. That one you can maneuver it, but if they tell you 1,000 words, please do well to stick to 1,000 words. Now let us go ahead. How are you going to do your revision? Stage 1, when you write your first draft, leave it there. Walk away for like 24 hours, relax a bit, go for a run. They actually give this advice to students writing research proposals or going through the process of long-term essay writing, those that are writing theses, dissertations. They tell you when you write and you're getting this kind of writer's block, go for a bit, go for a walk. Go for a run, leave it for some time, and then you come back. Stage 2, a second opinion, ask a mentor, and then does this sound good? Like, does it sound like me? Let them give you feedback. And then the third one, you fix up the polish, check for active voice, grammar, and all of those things. Seek feedback, but do not let others rewrite your story. The voice must remain yours. It's extremely important in all that you do. You make sure that it still sounds like something that you will say. Let's do the cheat sheet here. This is the interesting part. Let's do the tip sheet. So we have the do's and the don'ts. Don't, do not use childhood cliches. Do not repeat your CV. Do not use generic flattery. Do not exceed the word limit. Please do not plagiarize or use AI. The things that you should do, start with a hook because it's extremely important. Use the iceberg method. Remember, the CV is up and then your SOP is down, providing context, what happened, why, how, those things. And then name specific professors. You have to do your research to figure out who in that department or who in that university excites you, what labs, what modules. You have to do that. Name specific names. Okay, we've done that one. And then use the logic flow. Make sure there is some logic flow, like they should flow, like one paragraph should fit into the next paragraph, and above all, show, do not tell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Please do well to share this with a friend, a brother, a sister, an auntie, an uncle, anyone that you think that this is going to help. Do well to like the video. Let me know in the comment section, what did you think? Subscribe here. I am going to see you all in the next one. Peace.